Welcome to Behind Closed Doors, brought to you in association with Dore on Tour. Action!
So how are we, boys? All right?
Oh, good, how are you?
Not bad, thanks.
I'm good. Nice trim, a nice makeup. You don't
Looking sharp there, Mal.
No, that Rebel 87 barber.
Who's that?
Yeah, well, the only issue I had is I had to go to have it done.
How much cost you?
That's between friends, mate.
Great.
So no. In all seriousness, great to catch up with you lads. We're having a great time doing Dore on Tour. Thank you, Ben, for letting us gate crash your gig every time.
Someone has to, don't they? Someone has to.
So Behind Closed Doors was a concept that the three of us came up with a few weeks ago, and we're just going to talk about all things Forest. We're going to put an unbiased view on everything to do with Forest, really. And yeah, in the first episode we're going to talk about Lamouchi, transfers in, transfers out, what's happened so far this season and what our realistic expectations are. I know I'm unrealistic, but what our realistic expectations are. So
Got a realist here to balance it out.
yeah, absolutely. So lads, let's start with the gaffer.
Sammy Lamouchi. Where should we start?
So obviously O'Neill went. You're in holiday in Turkey. I saw your tweet where you went, O'Neill's gone, and I'm like, it came up like 20 seconds, and I'm like, this is unbelievable. What? So I start ringing all my mates.
Yeah, I think you texted me, didn't you? Saw that.
I text you. I saw your text.
Yeah.
I was like, what? And then, yeah, after that, just bonkers. But
I mean, 18 minutes. I mean, we all knew that O'Neill probably wasn't a long-term answer. I don't agree personally with having legends go in and manage a club. It never works out, whoever they are, ever works out. And obviously, you know, O'Neill, I think the writing was on the wall for him once Keano got the bullet or walked out, depending on how you look at it. And but for it to actually happen there and then that day was one thing. But then 18 minutes later, when the tweet came out to say they've appointed Lamouchi, I mean, Craig, start with you. What did you know about Sabri Lamouchi?
I think my instant reaction was the same as everyone. Who? It literally was, who is this guy? But and started hearing the things about the Mendes client, etc., etc.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was just who. I knew absolutely nothing.
So you mentioned that he was a Mendes client. Do you think that was? How did you feel about that? Did you think it was inevitable?
We had links with him last season, didn't we?
I don't know.
With players like where players like Carvalho have come from, and etc.
Oh, you mean with links with Mendes?
Yes,
yeah,
links
so,
with Mendes.
Yes, sorry, I thought you meant links with Lamouchi.
So the way they've gone down that route again, so it wasn't a surprise in that sense. The fact that it's happened so quickly, they obviously had someone lined up that they've got linked with.
Yeah.
So and they've gone for more of the head coach the same way they do at Olympiacos.
Yeah, more
So
European
philosophy. So
what did you think, Ben?
I had to Google him. I had to Google him. I'm thinking, who's this guy? And then I looked at it. He was with Ivory Coast in the World Cup.
Yeah.
And then he was with what first team?
Rennes.
Rennes. How long?
With a stint in Qatar as well.
Yeah, but he was with Rennes for like 3 or 4 months. I think it was.
A bit longer than that because he took
Was
them in
it?
the he took them in UEFA Cup.
Yeah.
He took them from relegation zone to Europa League.
Yeah.
And then he got sacked when they were near the Christmas when they wasn't doing as well.
Yeah.
All that could be is your owner's got unrealistic aspirations of what the club necessarily are, and he might not be fulfilling his anticipation. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
absolutely.
So
That's how I thought it would have been. Another foreigner, and who's that number man?
Montalier. Do you think it'd be Montalier?
I thought it was.
Yeah, because that was my initial
That's the
reaction.
first thing I thought, oh, here we go again, not again, but you can't judge on Manchester first,
to
can
be
you?
fair to Montale, he didn't end up having the job he signed up for.
Yeah.
So
But like I said, I think I was a bit ooh and ah about it, but like I said, foreign manager, but see how it is.
I mean, personally, I'd never heard of him. The first thing I did was message some Marseille fans I knew and said to them, you know, what do you think about this guy? And I'll be totally honest with you, they weren't very respectful to him. Because I think that's the easiest way of putting it. They weren't respectful on his style of coaching. They said it was a really bad appointment for Forest. However, this brings me on to, what do we think to him so far?
I think he's done great. I know we lost West Brom to first game of the season, but
Yeah, but Ben, we lost it to a cross that went in the net.
yes,
And we
And a
lost
keeper error.
And a keeper,
Error.
a mistake by the
Some
keeper.
might say 2 keeper errors, but
yeah.
that's a view.
Well, I think he's done well. Is it 9 points? Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, he's got 9 points in the first 6 games, but then you look at the table, every team we've played are above us.
Yeah.
So that means that every team we've played so far
Yeah.
has got some kind of form.
Yeah, but like I said, I think he's done great. Like I said, we had a tough 6 games, but yeah, I think I'm happy with him so far.
Craig?
Yeah, can't argue. To me, his in-game management is what stands out. I mean, he
Absolutely.
might not get tactics right from the start necessarily, but you look at the Preston game. He was trying to get Sambasau on 10 minutes before half time, but couldn't quite get him on.
Yeah,
So-
I think that for me was a mistake. Because
Yeah.
he recognised that we needed to have somebody in that midfield who had that presence.
Yeah.
So he got Sambasau, he got him warmed up, got him ready,
Yeah.
got him stripped off.
Yeah.
They went through the book with him to talk to him about what they wanted him to do,
Yeah.
and then he sat on the bench. 4 or 5 minutes later, Preston go and scored the opening goal. I seriously believe that if Sambasau had been brought on
Brought on.
at 35 minutes, we wouldn't have gone in
Yeah,
1-0
because
down.
he said in his interview that he tried to bring him on, but he couldn't for some reason.
Don't
So
understand.
I don't get why that was, but no, changing. I've said in one of my videos that I think we've been a bit of a Jekyll and Hyde team so far,
Yep.
but it's his ability to switch it round at half time and drag us into games, which we haven't looked like getting anything from the first half.
100%.
So I think there's only more positives to come.
I agree. The big thing for me is it's not just his in-game management with substitutions. It makes substitutions at really good times. It will make them around about 60 minutes, 65 minutes. So that substitute has got time to influence the game.
Yeah.
Yep.
Look at Leeds away. Great performance. Nobody expects us to go there and get anything. He brought Rafa Mir on. He brought Sami Amiobi on. Sambasau on. That last 20 minutes or so, we played out of our skin, and rightly we got a draw.
Draw, 100%.
You know, and I think we were worthy of a point that day, and that was because of the substitutions he made, and they could have time to have an impact. You know, South changed the game against Preston.
Yeah.
Absolutely
Completely.
changed the game, which then makes me wonder, you know, why didn't he start? But we don't see it. We
Yeah.
don't see it in training. We don't know what happens during the week. So.
It's like when we played away to Charlton, we fought the last 70 minutes, weren't we? And then again we fought. Who come on, was it?
Uncle Albert come on.
Uncle Albert, and who else was it? Yeah, as I said, 70 minutes was poor. Substitutions changed the game, and we should have won the game, to be fair. But
Well, we should have had a penalty in that game, shouldn't we?
100%.
Yeah. How Amiobi's leg was appropriate, actually, I have no idea.
And the referee was looking at it 10 yards away,
you
looking
look,
straight at
you
it.
do look back at it, and Amiobi could have easily have had a red card.
Well.
Yes, he
for
could,
his,
yeah.
for his challenge.
See,
but-
in real time, I was watching that on TV. In real time, I looked at it and went, "What a great tackle!"
Yeah.
And then actually, when they brought it back into slow mo and a close up, he went right over the top of the ball.
But
and I
the
actually
difference
said,
between the
"Look,
two
stay
challenges was one was a serious career-threatening injury,
up." Yeah, it was a leg breaker.
Yeah.
and the other one was it might hurt him, but it's not quite as. But no,
So, overall, then, Lamucci, we're happy,
Very happy.
so far.
excellent, and marks out of 10 so far this season, Craig, for Lamucci's performance.
Let's argue, mate.
Ben,
I'll say 8 as well. To be fair, 8.
That's a solid score, gives him room for improvement. But the start we've had on paper is probably one of the toughest starts for any team in the division.
yeah,
100%.
I'd give him 8 as well.
With 12 new arrivals, not much time on the training pitch.
Yeah.
So, yeah, watch his space.
Yeah, I'd give him 8 out of 10 as well. I think he's had a great start as manager, and I have hopes that he'll do well.
Right, so transfers in.
Yeah,
Who should we start with?
Sambasau.
Sambasau?
Got to start with Sambasau in my opinion. Absolute beast. Loves a tackle. As soon as we signed him, I went on the internet. I didn't look at any YouTube videos because that's a waste of time.
Yeah.
I went on to Twitter and I looked at some of the fans of his previous teams. And the one thing they all said was he likes a tackle. And we've seen that. He likes a tackle. He's a strong guy, and he's a powerhouse in the field.
Do you think he's a bit out of his comfort zone playing in that 2 in front of the 1 in the back?
I think he is.
Yeah, potentially.
Because I look at the Swansea game coming up, where we're not going to have the ball, so we're not going to need the quarterback like a Watson. Personally, I'd sit him in front of the back 4, just to literally break everything up, and then.
I think not now. Watson's still has been okay. I think he'll replace Watson soon. So,
I think that's more bossed up the way Lamucci plays.
Do you think?
I don't know. I think young lad will come back.
Yatesy.
Yeah, I think Yates will come back. I really do.
I can see Yatesy in because Lamucci likes to play with this, the 4-1-4-1. With your 2 box-to-boxy midfielders with the 1 sitting.
Yeah.
Well, I can see Yatesy more of as a box-to-box man, rather than the one sitting. And I can't see him being the one sitting and dropping into doing the centre halves.
So what you do is you keep Sambasau as the seat.
The sitter. Yeah.
The one thing I have noticed is this brings me on to 2 other players that we've signed, Thiago Silva and Alpha Semedo. Semedo is different mustard, but when he plays alongside Silva, he doesn't play as well.
Doesn't play well.
And whenever Silva goes off, Semedo comes into his own.
Yeah, 100%.
I think you could still say similar with the other way around as well. Because when you brought Carvalho's come back and come on with Silva, there's only been little patches so far, but you just see that understanding of the triangles and the little play. But
the exciting thing there is we've got lots of options.
Yeah.
Yep.
So let's talk about Thiago Silva. Thoughts, Craig?
Personally, I think he's got a little bit of a rough deal from fans so far, like moaning and giving the ball away, etc. Me personally, when a player gives the ball away and he's looking forward, I'm not as angry at him as if he's giving the ball away looking sideways, backwards. Yeah. Final third, yes, you're giving the ball away there too cheaply, that's fair enough. But like the Charlton game, there was no movement in that midfield. They're all flat-footed. He was the only one, for my mind, that was trying to make something happen.
Yeah.
So he gave the ball away, but he was trying to push something. So
fair comment.
He's actually got that ability to look, but it reminds me a little bit. We said it when Carvalho came in. No one was on his wavelength. That's where Benny Osborne last year got the raw end of the deal. Everyone criticised him. To me, he was the first one that got on Carvalho's wavelength last season.
Yeah.
So for someone to come in on Silva's wavelength with the balls and have a little bit more about them with the movement, but again, that's going to come from being on the training pitch. There's next 2 weeks in the international break, so I think there's more to come from him, definitely. And he looks reasonably robust for his size.
Yeah, I think the pace of the game at the moment, particularly when him and Semedo are trying to do recovery runs, they're just too far off the pace at the moment. It'll come. It'd be interesting to see if we can do it on a cold February night.
They've come in, haven't they? They're not used to playing. They played 6 games in 4 weeks.
Yeah,
it was crazy. It's absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
But it will come with fun.
Ben Silva.
I'm impressed with him, but like I said, I think what Craig said, Charlton away, pass the ball forward, he's good, but just like coming back defensively wise, he's still learning the games. It's still fast for him. But I can't wait for him and Carvalho together. When you said about Sambasau playing that holding role, I think I prefer him holding role. But right now, Watson is there. But I think I want Silva in that role with Carvalho and Sambasau to fulfill. That's just my opinion.
Okay. And moving on to Semedo.
He was a boss, wasn't he?
The thing that summed it up for me, I know I've talked about it in Dore on Tour on the blog, is that particularly Semedo is throwing himself in front of the ball.
Yep.
That block that he did in the first half at Leeds away, you thought he'd have scored the winning goal because he got up and celebrated.
That was a psycho reaction.
It was absolutely, and that to me shows what a passion he's got.
100%.
And I really like him. He is a different. He's different mustard.
Yeah, it's like when we went to Leeds, when we seen that, I thought, wow, that's what we've been missing
We've
for
been missing
quite
it,
a while. Because you're not that kind of person in centre midfield who wants to win tackles. And yeah, I think I'm looking forward to him.
We've got more than enough from them now.
Well, like I said, I think the first 3 games he's been good. The last 3 games he's not been on. He's not been on the top since quite well. So
That's where you see his age, though. He's only what,
He's young.
21.
Yeah, he's only a young lad. Look
So
at,
he's going to be in and out. He's been in and out of form.
look at Fulham away when we got the break. We got the break 3-on-2,
3-on-2.
and he took the ball and he just took one touch too many.
He seemed afraid to shoot.
Yes, exactly. That's what I was about to say.
Yeah.
Craig, he should have just put it onto his foot and absolutely wellied it.
Yep.
And if it had gone into the crowd, it wouldn't matter. We were 2-1 up with a few minutes to go, you know. But it could have flown into the top corner as well.
Yep. 100%.
So
But yeah, I think I'm happy with him. He's still young. It's a long season, isn't it?
yeah, absolutely, Craig.
Yeah, again, he's shown patches of absolute brilliance and sort of experience beyond his years. Then in other games, he's shown his experience with his inconsistency,
Yeah.
which is what you get from young players. So if you're putting a lot of young players in your team, you've got to expect inconsistency. But
Do you think this is where I know he's coming in for criticism by people who don't necessarily go to the game? You know, we go to every game. Ben Watson, I think, has been brilliant this season.
We've got a gentleman that sits behind us who slags Ben Watson off every single game, and to me, my mind, he's done nothing wrong this season at all. He drops in between them centre halves, just plays that little quarterback role. He's always available for the ball.
100%. Yeah.
So I think that's where you see another new signing in Bostock. Long term, will come into that role.
Do you think though?
In some ways, I think. If
Craig, that's a big statement.
That's a statement.
What I mean by that is, for the ball playing aspect of it, when you're on the front foot, when you're looking to get on the ball and play,
Yeah.
I think he's the one that they will see as that kind of player. For me, the games where you're not going to have the ball, because we're going to have teams come and sit against us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which,
Part of the bus, aren't they?
yeah.
Yeah.
So you're not going to want necessarily a powerhouse who's going to just break things up. You're going to want someone who can play, who's got a range of passing.
Yeah,
So I think that's where I see Bostock coming into it, where Samba South to me, like the Swanseas, the Leeds, them sort of games where they're going to dominate.
100%. I agree
So
with
that's what I mean by it.
Okay.
But yeah, I think Watson's been fine.
Good. Okay. So, Uncle Albert.
Proven.
Yes.
Absolutely seasoned and proven at this level.
We should have signed Uncle Albert 3 or 4 seasons
Seasons
ago.
ago.
When we were linked to him previously.
Yeah.
I think
We signed. Who did we sign first? We signed Carriol instead.
yes,
Yeah.
Mustafa Carriol.
Yeah, we signed him instead. I thought.
Yeah.
Miserable fans were laughing.
Yeah, we got a player.
If you remember Miserable fans, they was laughing.
But Adoma's proven at this level.
Yeah,
you know,
he
he's
is.
done it for several clubs. He's been consistent. We've seen when he's come on for us. He's an impact substitute.
100%.
And when was the last time we had an impact substitute?
Lewis McGugan.
Yeah, but Lewis McGuinn used to start most games.
No, but the first season when with Lee Davis, Lewis McGugan was coming around and scoring goals. I think that's the last player. Who was the last one then?
I mean, for me, Jack Lester.
Yeah.
That was 2004, 2002, 3?
Something like
Yeah,
that.
that was.
But for me, that was
It was
the
the
last.
same time as the DJ and Airwood, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That sort of time.
You know, for me, when Jack used to come on, he would change the game.
Change the
for
game.
you.
Yeah.
But he wasn't one of them players who you would want necessarily to start the game. But you'd want him to have the last 20 minutes
Yeah.
for certain. If you were chasing the game,
Yeah.
he'd go and win you a penalty.
Yeah.
You know. But yeah, so Uncle Albert, happy?
Happy as Larry.
Good.
What the one thing I think probably more than is on the pitch that he brings
Yeah.
is a character.
Yes.
So to that dressing room,
Yes.
it'll
Absolutely.
be like you've seen Lolly like when he lost players like Steele and stuff like that. We'll come on to that sort of stuff later, but it's characters going out the dressing room. So to have another character come in,
Yeah.
like his little video clip against Fulham,
Fulham,
Brilliant.
I'll say about that.
And also that bit where he came out the training ground.
Yeah.
And he's got Dawson behind him.
Yeah.
You know, and they're giving it a bit of banter.
That's what you want to see. That's what it's a bunch of lads going out there. Yes, it's their job, but they're having fun doing their job. That's what you want.
100%. 100%.
Okay. I'm going to leave the 2 goalkeepers till later.
Yep.
Okay. But Jenkinson.
I think he's a quality signing. I think he's a quality signing. He's proven experience in the Championship. Who's he played for? He played for Birmingham, didn't he?
Yeah, West Ham as well on
West Ham
loan.
loan.
He's been
About
at
40 games for Arsenal.
Yeah,
Yeah, played in the Europa League and that kind of
he's
stuff.
been at Arsenal a long time. He's been a very good servant to them. It's his boyhood club.
Arsenal fans were happy he left, to be fair.
Yeah.
They was
Yeah.
happy.
He's taking place in the squad once here, not really playing. That's
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
But I'm happy with him playing right back. I wasn't comfortable with Cash there, but
I thought Cashy was his defence display against Leeds was brilliant.
Brilliant, yeah.
But he was set up to defend.
West Brom, he was terrible.
Yeah, but he scored a goal early on.
Yeah.
And that's what he want. That's what his game is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's like defending came second then.
yeah.
And when I say terrible, let me quantify that. He was terrible at defending. Okay. But yeah, I mean the next game, Leeds away, it was fantastic.
Yeah.
He was set up to defend.
Yeah. But Jenkins,
As an all-round fullback, I think fitness will be undoer,
yeah.
if anything.
Yeah.
But no, when Derico does eventually come back, it'll be good solid competition between them both. But so far, I think he's not done anything wrong.
Yeah.
But Tendy could be out all season.
This season could be a write-off. Yeah.
So we've got cover there.
Yeah.
Yuri Ribeiro.
Craig. This is Craig's. This is Craig's.
I was really impressed with him against Derby. I don't know. There's something about him. He's got a bit of passion, and again, when Silva and Cavalier are on the field, they seem to have that link up. Even with Semedo at times,
Yep.
they had that link up going forward, and there's something there. I just think there's something that could be there. I know Jack Robertson's kind of made the position his own at the minute.
Yeah.
But I think if Ribeiro gets a chance at some point in the season, I think he could make it.
I think the thing is as well, Craig, you just made that point that Jack Robinson's made that position his own. But now, with the players we've brought in, we've got two good players
In each position.
for every position.
100%.
So all of a sudden, those players that think that's my position,
Yeah.
they're looking over the shoulder and they're thinking,
Yeah.
I've got to be on the top of my game, otherwise
I'm out.
he's going to be,
Like I
he's
can
gonna
see,
be
I'd have Ribeiro as my fullback. You got Barnsley going to come to the City ground in a couple of weeks, yeah.
Yeah.
And they might try and play a little bit of football, but we're not going to be free flowing against us. We're probably have to try and break them down a little bit. So someone like Ribeiro going forward gives you another option
100%.
Yeah.
on that left fullback side. So especially with what we've touched on with the defensive midfielder liking to sit into the back two to make it a back three, and the fullback pushing on so much,
Yeah.
which is the team how he wants to play. So
Okay.
yeah.
Cool. Happy. Chima. We can't talk much about him. We haven't seen him.
I've seen him.
We've seen him for 10 minutes against Derby.
I've seen a volley on YouTube. That's it. But
I look forward to seeing him. In all seriousness, the Spanish fans that I've spoken to through social media have said he's a good young prospect and he's going to be a good player for the future. So
it's good to have balance as well as left-footed centre half.
Yeah.
Which is
I
good.
didn't know he was left footed.
That's a left-footed centre half, so that's good to have balance on it.
yeah,
You can play in that defensive midfield role, can as well.
Yes, he can do that.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to him.
interesting. And then the last two, the big
We did debate.
debate, Muric and Bryce. So let's talk about Muric first because he started the season for us.
I think, for me, Pep rates him for a reason. So, I think the main thing with why he's come in and Pantonemon's not around the squad was distribution.
Yeah.
Because Pantonemon will keep hold of the ball far too long. Like, it'll be
kick it
completely
out,
gone.
play it
Yeah.
out,
And
play it
it
too many times.
so, he started off like that. That was not too bad. But then the game again, was it Charlton where his distribution just went all over? Went.
First
His
off.
distribution
First
just
off.
went. It's like that's. But I think again he's 20 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a kid.
So for a keeper, especially, that is I know nowadays it's a little bit different.
Keeper's probably the hardest, but I used to be a keeper, okay? So keeper is probably the hardest position mentally.
Yeah.
Because you might have nothing to do for 89 minutes, and then you've got one thing to do, and Matty Phillips is putting it over your head into the top corner
Yeah.
because you've misjudged it.
Yep.
Or it's caught the wind or whatever. So mentally, it's a really
And
tough.
I think
at
it's
20
the
years
one.
old, it's tough.
I think it's the one position on the pitch as well where you do get the fan stick more than anywhere
Yeah.
because they're behind you. So
Yeah.
you're gonna get, and it is his mental strength how he. But like I said, he's at Man City. He's there for a reason.
Yeah.
So he's gonna. I think he'll come back into the team at some point. I don't see it being a solid number one.
I think he'll come back against Swansea. I
Do you
really do.
Wow.
Because, like I
big
said,
That depends on the club, I think.
no, because I think, because like I said, he was poor against Charlton. Sam would come in against Fulham away, and one like Sam played good, but I think Muric just needed that 2 or 3 games just to chill out and relax. And I think he'll come back against Swansea away.
As a keeper, then Muric, how do you rate him, Craig? On what you've seen at Forest, when we went to pre-season, we went to Greece, and we saw what happened at Olympiacos. What do you think on what you've seen?
Definitely room for improvement. I think there's a good keeper in there. I think there's a solid keeper in there.
Cool.
So
Ben?
I think he's solid. I rate him high. So I think when he went on loan to the Dutch side, when he was still at Man City, he was good.
Yeah.
Like I said, I think he'll come back against Swansea away. I really do.
Okay. Interesting. Ben, as a keeper, you're happy?
Happy as Larry.
Okay.
what about yourself?
I think his distribution's good. I like the way that he uses the ball when he's got it. I like the way that he likes to hit, grab them early if he can. Yeah, I think he's okay. I think he suffers with confidence.
Yeah.
The Olympiacos game, in the first couple of minutes, he made that mistake that led to the corner that led to their first goal. Okay, his confidence went in that game. You know, the West Brom game, he made that mistake where
They got level.
where they got level, where he let that in, and then he was on edge, and you could tell he was on edge. He made a couple of mistakes, and then for that one to go over his head from Matty Phillips, he, that won't have done his confidence any good at all.
And with the distribution thing, like going to pot, one thing you have got to remember, when that lad's played before, he's been having the likes of David Silva to give the ball to, not Ben Watson. So there's a little bit of different in class to the players he's distributing to.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
Cool. Bryce Samba Bryce.
Captain Cool.
Yeah.
Oh, Fulham of bloody other way. You love him, don't you?
It's just,
You love him.
I've never seen
a chilled keeper.
I've never seen a keeper so chilled and so confident about. I mean, look at all the time he was wasting. His game management was really good. All right, he got booked, but even after that, he was still, I'm not going to rush. I'm going to take
It's just
time
the way he runs up for goal kicks. It's just like I don't know. He's just in slow motion.
I think the biggest thing for me between Samba Bryce and Muric is Bryce seems to command his area better.
Experience.
Yeah.
He's 26.
Yeah.
So he's had that experience of doing it.
Yeah.
So
He gets same as Muric. He gets positionally. He does well. His distribution is good. It's decent.
I don't think he's as quick as Muric's.
No, it isn't.
Muric is very instinctive and looking,
Yeah.
which again is catching some of the players out that aren't used to that.
Yeah.
I think once that clicks with Muric back in, with that throw he's got,
Yeah.
once that clicks with your likes of Lolly going down, that could be a dangerous weapon.
Yeah.
But with Bryce Samba so far, you can't fault him, can you?
No.
I mean, someone's going to got a tattoo on his arse, hasn't he? So,
And 5 tickets for
and
Arsenal
his
away
jersey.
game. Yeah,
as well,
absolutely.
yeah.
So yeah, we'll talk about Forest tattoos in a later episode. Personally, I'm happy with him. I feel confident if he's in the team. I was shocked when he came in against Fulham, but he really played well that day.
Yeah.
100%.
So yeah, all good. So those are all the new signings. Apart from the new striker.
Mur! Come on.
Oh no,
Mur! I can forget Mur!
yeah,
Um,
Rafa Mir. My opinion, needs a goal. He needs to get a goal.
Confidence.
He needs
Massive.
confidence.
You saw it at the end of the Derby game. Uncle Albert was trying his best to get him a goal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
He just needs it.
yeah.
He just needs that goal.
I think, like I said, what game was it? I think when he came against Leeds, I wish he scored against Leeds away, but Grabban stole it. But that goal, if he scores against Swansea, I think that's when the season starts.
Yeah.
I feel sorry for the lad, but Wolves rate him. I think one goal, just like Grabban.
The thing is as well, Ben, is if Lewis gets injured, and we all know Lewis's background with injuries and his history.
His age as well. He's
Yeah,
got,
yeah. He's the wrong side of 30 now, isn't he?
Yeah.
A lot of people's opinion. Mur's going to get an extended run in the team at some point.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's where he has to have a couple of goals under his belt before that time comes.
I think with his movement, because I've been impressed with his movement so far up front. I think he makes a lot of good movement. Someone like a Carvalho will find him.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
So with someone like that in a team, I think he's more likely to get a goal.
100%. 100%.
Yeah.
Excellent. Have we missed anybody on transfers in?
We got Bostock, but we kind of touched on him a little bit.
I think we've done everyone.
I mean, that's about it.
Sure.
Cool. Okay. Transfers in, done.